So I got a call last night from a friend and she said, I'm ready to buy. And I said, okay, tell me more. What is it that you want? And she said, I want new construction, no HOA. I want to be in a great location, not in the middle of nowhere. I want to be around good schools. I want a very spacious and generous primary bathroom. And then my next question was, how much money do you have? And then she said, $1.5 million. So here we are. Let's take a tour. So as we come in, this particular property is a townhouse, which means you are sharing a wall on this side, which is the east side of the property, with your neighbor. Thank God the neighbor next door is great people. So if you buy this house, you're going to have a great neighbor. And what I want you to look at here is, I have my measuring tape here today. When you enter here, you have about, I already measure it, but you have about 7 feet of wide space. So when you enter the home, it feels airy because it is typically a little bit larger for a home like this, of this size, and a townhouse. And then look at the door. Look how nice this is with the glass see-through. Now, if you're concerned about privacy, you can always do something with this. And the good thing about this is you can fit a refrigerator, you can fit a couch, you can fit anybody here because it's like almost 4 feet wide. So let's navigate the home together. Here to your right, you're going to have the garage. Now this home comes ready with the EV charger. So if you are a fan of electrical cars, me personally, I don't like them. I prefer my BMW on gas. But if you are, it's ready. You can put your car here. But pay attention later, I'm going to show you the driveway. So if you have multiple cars, you got plenty of space to park cars outside. So on the first floor, you're going to have a bedroom, which is good. You can use this, really, if you wanted to convert it into a full bedroom, you can just put a closet in here. You're not going to have a private bathroom for this particular space, but it's a great office. It's a den, open area with a lot of natural light. I will definitely put some shades here, and I would also definitely put some trees along that fence to make sure that I have some privacy. So either or, some motorized shades or some nice trees that will give me the privacy from the neighbor. But appreciate the space. If you want to make this into your business meetings and business gatherings, this is a good spot. You got one bedroom on the first floor. And then as you enter, you have one full bathroom. Now you're going to notice that every bathroom is also different. I don't like when developers actually do like the same tile, the same countertop for every bathroom. I like when they get a little creative. Take a look at this. It has a lot of personality. Also notice the design in the mirror. The builder for this particular home, she loves these designs. Look, it also has a smart mirror here for humidity control and the LED lighting from when you do your makeup. Now, if you have somebody who comes to your house to drop off something and they say, hey, excuse me, can I use the bathroom? This is the bathroom they're going to use. They don't have to go through your house. It's literally just a few feet from the main door. So come inside before you go to your bedroom, before you go outside, before you enjoy the rest of the house. Let's say you had a really tough day at work and you want to have a drink. This is where you would go. This is where you would place your wine. You got some space here for the wine or champagne. And this is for like your whiskey or some other things. The temperature is a little bit different. I'm not big into alcohol, so I don't really know the details, but I'm sure you can read about it. And if you have some like other bottles that you would like to display, you can put them up here. And look, you can mix here, wash your hands, mix your drinks, ready. This place is just ready for you to relax and disconnect from a busy day at work. Now, once you enter the kitchen, appreciate the design, because this design, it's a little bit different from what we're seeing in some other homes. You have the oak tones on the cabinets, and then you have that match with this quartzite stone, but they have two different colors. So the combination of this color really makes the kitchen stand out. Here you have a gas stove. Remember, I've told you this before because I've shown you many other homes. In Fort Lauderdale, There's some streets that you don't have gas lines, and then most people will do like an underground propane tank. You have 6 burners here, so you can do a lot of cooking, and then an oversized oven. Again, we're seeing the same design in all these modern homes, modern contemporary homes, where the exhaust fan is flushed into the cabinets. Here you have the trash. You got recycle and you have the regular trash. This is where I would put my silverware. On this side, you're gonna find the dishwasher. The brand is Thermador, which is a pretty good, reliable brand. You also have the microwave down here. Extra drawers with additional drawers on the top for like utensils. And now here, it's hidden because it's built into the cabinets. This is the refrigerator. I believe this is a 36-inch wide refrigerator. The good news about this particular home is it comes with warranty. So everything has warranty. I've mentioned to you before, in Fort Lauderdale, the standard for the industry is a 1-year warranty from the builder. However, there are some builders that do a little bit more. You can also buy policies and extend that warranty. And believe it or not, it's not that expensive. I just helped a customer in the $3 million range, and they ended up paying like an additional $750 for an extended warranty, which is a really good value, in my opinion. Here you have additional space to store all your food. Now, remember, we're looking at a townhouse in Harbordale, which is just borderline of Rio Vista. You're just a few minutes away from US Federal Highway for $1.5 million. Brand new construction, no HOA, concrete steel. There's no wood in this house other than the millwork, which is the kitchen and the closets. Everything else is all pure concrete. And what does that mean to you? That means you're not going to have an issue with humidity. You're not going to have an issue with termites, and it will withstand 200 miles per hour winds. So your cost of insurance is going to be like this low. And that right there is how we handle affordability. Because if you have a budget of maybe, let's say, $1 million, and you go and buy a house that was built in 1950s, your cost of insurance is going to be so high that the numbers are not going to make sense. You have a better value buying a $1.5 million house with everything brand new with a cost of insurance that's going to be a couple $1,000s a year versus $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 a year. Those are things that we need to consider when we're looking into a city that you have never lived in before, which is working with a real estate agent that understands the market. I've been here 30 years, so I have paid those premiums on my insurance, and I've also learned how to save a lot of money with insurance. So let's take a look outside. We're gonna navigate the pool. Now the pool is not huge, okay? The pool is a small pool for you to hang out. If you have kids, you still have some space here to put a little playground. If you have a dog, you have some pets, you have the space for that. If you come outside, you have a covered area out here, which means you can enjoy this all day, right? Because it's not going to be, you're not going to have the direct sun. You have an outdoor grill, which is running on gas. You have also an ice maker. So even though this is not a $5 million house, they thought about every single detail for functionality, for easy access, for comfort. And then what I like about this position of this property, and these are things that you will not know unless you live here and you've actually like understood where the sun is coming from and what time of the year. This property is facing south. So you're going to have the sun here in the afternoon. Now here's what I would do with this particular home. What this is missing right now, and it's because it's a brand new construction, I will invest in some landscaping. I do like these a lot, but these do not give you a lot of privacy. Maybe consider putting in some clusia trees in here in the middle. And then this is actually a door to the easement in the back. We're not going to open that door right now, but you could. And I would still install some additional hedges over here. Let them grow all the way to 20 feet, and you're going to have a lot of privacy. This here is for the water to drain, because this is not a flood zone, which actually is another selling point for this particular home. This particular area, Rio Vista, gets flooded pretty bad. But this particular area, it's called Harbordale, and there's no flood insurance required. So if you're getting a mortgage, you're not going to have to pay that. And to give you an idea, the cost of flood insurance for a property like this will be like $3,000 a year. So that's another $3,000 savings. When it rains, the water is going to flow over here. So you're not going to have any risk of any water, and you're going to be able to preserve the property longer than most other homes. They also did a very nice job to enclose the air conditioning unit, the pool equipment here, because this, you see, you don't really get the direct sun on any of the equipment, so you're going to be able to preserve it. You still have the ventilation, so it's durable. So before we go upstairs, a few things that are important to know. This townhouse is running on one central unit, which is located upstairs. We have about 2,600 square feet of air conditioning and living space, and then you have the additional space, which is the garage. On the second floor here, you're going to have the primary suite, and then you're going to have 2 additional bedrooms. What is important to know about the quality of construction is that when you walk on here, you cannot hear the steps downstairs. And the reason why is because this is all done with concrete. It is a big difference. I have sold houses in the past, like 15 years ago, where you will be walking on the second floor and you can hear all the steps. And that's because they have wood trusses, and it's just not very, it's not very great quality in my opinion. So here we have the AC unit, brand new, 2024. Now you're going to have typically out of the factory about a 5-year warranty on that unit, but the developer is going to give you a 1-year warranty. This is the laundry room. You only have a laundry room here on the second floor, which in my opinion, it's convenient since the bedroom downstairs is kind of like an office or a guest room. In the laundry room, you do have some counter space to fold your clothes. If you want to wash your shoes or do something else here, you can. And then here, if you would like to store your supplies, your detergent, this is a good space. This is the bedroom that's facing the front of the house. So if I was buying this house, I would put the bed right here. I would put a queen size bed. I would not put a king size bed, and then I will put a TV over there. It has good distribution of the AC. You have one vent facing this way and another one this way. You do have a walk-in closet, which has already been built for you. I've mentioned this before. Some of my developers sometimes like to cut corners and save money, and they don't finish the job. So you don't really have to think here. All you have to do is bring your clothes and your toothbrush. You have everything already designed for you. You can still customize some of these drawers if you wanted, like some jewelry boxes or something in there. And then the other thing you're going to have to do for this particular home, which is at your own taste, is basically, you know, personally, I like this light, bright, natural light. But if you want to sleep in the dark, you can put some shades in there. So definitely put some either motorized or just regular shades. I have a guy in Homestead, and I buy them at a really good cost. If you want that number, I can give that to you. Now let's walk outside. You have a small balcony, but it is spacious enough for you to put a chair here and read a book, drink a coffee, do whatever you want. Or maybe one of your neighbors or one of your friends are going to visit and you want to say hello to them from here. You can actually do that. Let's appreciate here for a second the size of the driveway. So you have a 1-car garage where you're going to put your nicest car in there, and then you can park an additional 4 cars over here. And your neighbor here to the right also has the same thing. Now, if you look right in front, you have a very nice community. That's a 4-plex. As you can see, there's 4 units. Looks in very good condition. To the right over there, you do have a cemetery. But the good news about being next to the cemetery is that you don't really have much traffic driving through because there's not homes and people are not going to the cemetery every single day and driving 3 times a day through those streets. This particular area, you still have opportunities to buy good value. Because if you go just a couple blocks over, you're going to pay for this townhouse, instead of paying 1.5, you're probably going to pay like 1.7. So being in Harbordale, you have value because you're not paying Rio Vista prices. Now in the bathroom, they always do a different design, which I love, right? Because every bathroom has its own unique style. Here's where you're gonna put your shampoos. This is an oversized shower. This is not a small shower. Most of the showers or the tubs are like 5 feet by 6. This is larger than that. And I also like the color that they used here. It's very serene. And then they matched it with these nice countertops, and you have space here. Now, if you feel like you need a little bit more cabinets, you can put something else over here as well. Let's go into the next bedroom. As you're walking through the hallway, you just left the bedroom that's in the front of the house. In here, we have additional closet space, linen closet, or whatever you want, medicine cabinets, anything in here. Maybe you have too many clothes and then you want to use this for your clothes as well. So that will be bedroom number 3. This is bedroom number 2, okay? Similar size, same thing. I would not put a king size bed in here. I would put a queen size bed in here, the 2 nightstands, and I will put a TV over there. You also have a lot of natural light here. They already installed these. You can keep this, to be honest with you, if you wanted to. It's nice enough. It gives you the privacy that you want, and you still have the light coming in through the outside, through the window. This shower is a little bit smaller than the other one. This is, I would say, it's like more of the standard size of the shower. But as you can see, they picked a different tile, different style, and different layout as far as where you're going to store your shampoo and everything. But you got the 2 shower heads for easy convenience. And then you also have the nice design mirror, smart mirror space here for all your things. This closet is already built as well. It's a little bit smaller than the other one. So depending on if you have kids or maybe it's a few adults that are buying this home, you're gonna have to fight for the closet space. But this closet also, you can use the closet in the hallway that we just saw, because that will give you the same amount of space than the other bedroom. That way no one's fighting over which one is your room. Now, this hallway here, it's wide. You could still use this space if you wanted to. You could potentially put a little table here, or you can just put, if you have young kids and you have a lot of toys, you may want to make this into a little play room. Or if you don't want to have anything and you just want to have the simplicity of having everything open, leave it just like that. This is considered to be an upgrade when you have this type of glass railings. This is actually pretty expensive. Glass is very expensive. We come into the primary suite. And remember how I told you in the beginning of the video that my friend called me and she says, I want to have this beautiful bathroom. I want to have a tub, an oversized shower. I want the bathroom to be the best part of the house. So her budget is $1.5 million. This is what $1.5 million is going to get you as far as comfort. This is an oversized shower. Look at this. You can fit like 5 people in here. You got all these shower heads over here. You have the rain shower coming from the top. Plenty of space for your stuff here. The design, the porcelain, the blue. This one definitely feels like a great place, like a retreat for you to spend time and reflect on your day. A lot of reflection. And then you have privacy here. You have your toilet room. This is a smart toilet. I love these smart toilets. The Japanese are so intelligent because they have these everywhere. Actually, I could not live without this. And then you have the natural light from the window here. So I would not do anything there. Leave it like that. So you have that coming in. Then you have a separate soaking tub here, which this is a great part of the area. Now remember, these are the kind of things that we see in the higher price point. This home is $1.5 million. You're basically getting everything that a $3 million house has for half the price. Take a look at the space. Dual vanity, so two people can have their own side. LED lights with a smart mirror. And space here, if you wanted to have like a basket here for your dirty clothes, you can put one there. You also have some space in that area as well. So now the door. The door is a sliding door. You have a walk-in closet that is very deep. You got plenty of space here for your shoes. You got place for your suitcase on the top, for your long dresses over here. It's very well designed and it's comfortable and functional. Then you have a second closet on this side that is also very long, and you can still customize a little bit more of this if you wanted to, depending on how many people are going to sleep in this room or use this room. But if you wanted to put your luggage down here, you could. Now, whoever buys this house, this is where they're going to sleep. This particular room is an oversized primary bedroom. For this type of townhouse, this is actually a lot of space. I wasn't expecting this when I came here, and I think this is one of the areas in the house where you're going to spend a lot of time, quality time, and you can really do a lot. You can even have a larger bed than this one. This is a king size bed. You can have an Alaskan king bed. You can have one of those round beds here and whatever you want. Over there on that side, if I was living here and I needed more space for closet, I will build in some cabinetry here to be able to store all my additional items, purses, and other personal items for my personal use. Now here, as you can see, that cable ready, that cable over there. So what they did, and this is very normal, a lot of the developers do not want to put in the shade. And the reason they don't want to put in the shades is because everybody has their own taste. And I wouldn't want to do it either. I want to choose my own shade, but it's ready. You got the power for it. So all you have to do is get it installed if you want to do a motorized shade over here. I like how they install these lights coming down as well, so you don't even have to think about that. This is your primary suite balcony. This balcony is just a little bit wider than the one that we saw in the other bedroom. But think about this. From the bedrooms, you have two of them that have their own terraces. That is also a good thing about this home. And this is an area where you can also have a couple of chairs and a table and drink some coffee. When you look down to your yard, think about, visualize what it's going to look like when you have all the privacy with all the trees and the hedges that are going to grow at 20 feet tall. That would be the ultimate goal. If I was the one buying this house, that's what I would want. Okay, so now you've seen the home. Now you see what $1.5 million gets you in the city of Fort Lauderdale. So now let's talk a little bit about numbers. If you put 20% down, for example, with a 30-year mortgage with current interest rates, we're in the month of July in 2026, you're probably looking at principal and interest roughly about $7,600 per month. Plus you're going to have your taxes, plus you're going to have your insurance. But because this is a new construction, the custom insurance is going to be very low. I don't have a quote immediately, but I'm going to take a guess based on the last one that I just sold that's very recently. The premium is going to be roughly around $2,000 a year. And you're not going to have to worry about anything because you have the roof is brand new, the plumbing is brand new, electrical is up to code, all brand new. You have a good elevation in this particular home, so there's no flood, no HOA, and you're actually walking distance to US Federal Highway. You have a Starbucks that's just a few feet away. And if you want to go to the airport, it's about a 5 to 7 minute drive to the airport with no traffic. You also have a Whole Food that's on 17th Street and US Federal Highway. Very convenient. If you don't like grocery shopping, you can order on your app and just pick it up and they'll bring it to your car. So every single Tuesday, I tour new construction homes in the city of Fort Lauderdale. because I want to show you the inventory. Sometimes I show you my own listings, sometimes I show some other partners' properties. This particular home was actually built by my builder. I'm actually building my first house here in Fort Lauderdale. It's not for me to live in. I'm actually going to sell it and put it on the market. So it's the same builder. So the quality of the construction, I really look and analyze those things because it's very important. It allows me as a real estate agent to sell a property with confidence. So when you're working with a real estate agent, make sure that your real estate agent has an understanding of a construction, of what the area is doing, how it's developing, like what's the trend in the neighborhood. You will find in this particular pocket that a lot of those old houses from the 1940s and 1950s are coming down and people are building townhouses and single family homes like this one. One more thing before you go, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my next home tour. And if you have a property that you're actually considering selling or coming to market and you would like to have a conversation, you want to hear what the market will do for you right now in this 2026 year, just reach out to me, send me a private message with your address. Let's set up a consultation. No pressure, no pitch, no fluff. Let's just have a conversation about the market. I will give you my personal opinion based on the 17 years that I have been selling real estate here in the city of Fort Lauderdale. And aside from that, I have analyzed over 600 homes just in my city in the last 5 years. So Fort Lauderdale is my market. Fort Lauderdale is where I grew up. Fort Lauderdale is where I raised my kids. So just reach out to me. See you in my next video.